China and the US are not looking for conflict over the issue of Taiwan, but both sides need to take a stand for political reasons, which runs the risk of accidents and miscalculations. Singapore's Foreign Affairs Minister Vivian Balakrishnan made this point at the close of the ASEAN ministerial meetings in Phnom Penh. Speaking to the media, he warned latest developments reflect a dangerous divergence between the US and China. Leong Wai-kit reports.
A warm welcome for the ASEAN's top diplomats who gathered for ministerial meetings in Phnom Penh during the week. But the spotlight largely fell on US House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, which cast a shadow over the meetings. China, angered by the visit, is holding large-scale military drills near Taiwan, a move that the US has slammed. Singapore's Foreign Affairs Minister Vivian Balakrishnan warns that this is a dangerous moment for the world.
I would say actually both China and America are actually not looking for conflict. But both sides, for political reasons, need to take a stand. Now, the main danger, and I said this to State Councillor Wang Yi yesterday, the main danger is you've got a lot of ships and planes and missiles massed around there. There is a danger, even though I know you don't want to go to war, but there is a danger of accidents and miscalculations.
Dr. Balakrishnan earlier met China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi and US Secretary of State Antony Blinken separately on the sidelines of the ASEAN meetings. He also met Ms. Pelosi when she was in Singapore earlier this week.
So I had a good opportunity to assess what was going on. So let me just say a few things. Number one, although this is not the first visit by the US speaker to Taiwan, I mean, it occurred actually 25 years ago, but actually this visit occurred at a very sensitive time, politically sensitive time for both China and the US, and I'm sure that has also contributed to raising the temperature and the tensions on the ground.
Closer to home, the bloc's foreign ministers focus on the Myanmar crisis, taking a more decisive path. ASEAN issued a joint communique giving the Myanmar military until November to show progress on an agreed peace plan known as the 5-point consensus. It added that the bloc was deeply disappointed by its lack of commitment in implementing the peace plan, noting the recent executions of 4 opposition activists. The bloc's foreign ministers also cited an article in the ASEAN Charter which would allow the ASEAN leaders at the summit to make a decision on Myanmar without a need for consensus. Now, what this means is that if the Myanmar army does not make any progress in the 5-point consensus, then Myanmar will not have a say in ASEAN's next steps against it.
But let's not jump the gun, because if, for instance, in the remaining few months, they actually stop the violence, engage across the political spectrum, give access to our special envoy, in particular, let him meet with Aung San Suu Kyi, I think those will be positive steps, and we don't need to go, into other things which, I remain pessimistic about what additional pressure would do.
The bloc also spoke to various dialogue partners over the week. ASEAN and India, for instance, will upgrade their ties to a higher diplomatic level known as a comprehensive strategic partnership in November. Already, ASEAN has established such ties with China and Australia, and the bloc is planning to do the same with the US this year. As ASEAN Chair Cambodia closes the 55th ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, it will be looking to host the bloc's leaders in November at the ASEAN Summit. Leong Wai-kit, CNA, Phnom Penh.
U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Singapore's Foreign Minister Dr. Vivian Balakrishnan met on the sidelines of the ASEAN Foreign Ministers meeting, and they discussed developments in the Taiwan Strait. Dr. Balakrishnan says that things could take an escalatory spiral and destabilize the region. Dr. Balakrishnan, however, welcomed the U.S. continued engagement in the region and said that he looks forward to the early conclusion of an open, inclusive and flexible Indo-Pacific economic framework. On Singapore-US relations, both of them reaffirmed what was described as an excellent and long-standing partnership. They also acknowledged good momentum in high-level exchanges between both countries. Dr. Balakrishnan has invited Secretary Blinken to visit Singapore.